This is QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue. I'm Mudu Gajaga and thank you for joining us. First, a look at the headlines. The Gambia Armed Forces will be sending troops to the ECOWAS stabilization mission in Sierra Leone after a motion tabled by the Defense Minister Serigne Modou Faye was approved by the National Assembly. Following the launch of the preliminary report of the Gambia 2024 Population and Housing Census last week, we look at some of the Gambia's population demographic, social and housing characteristics. In recognition of International Day of Peace, celebrated annually on the 21st of September, the West Africa Network of Peacebuilding, WANEP, and partners in the Gambia hosted a stakeholders dialogue at the Banjul City Council. Vulnerable families in the Upper River region received $3,000 each as part of the NAFA cash transfer program, implemented by the National Nutrition Agency and partners. Members of the NAWEC Cooperative Credit Union convened on Saturday for their annual general meeting, where they reviewed and discussed the activity and audited financial reports for 2023. Those were the news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. The Gambia Armed Forces will be sending troops to the ECOWAS stabilization mission in Sierra Leone after a motion tabled by Defense Minister Serigne Modou Faye was approved by the National Assembly. Our reporter Amadou Tamba engaged the PRO, the Army PRO, on this and other matters. Here is the report.
Peace and stability are fundamental for any nation's development, as the Gambia discovered following the electoral standoff after the 2016 presidential election. The Gambia Armed Forces will be among the countries sending troops to Sierra Leone on an ECOWAS stabilization mission following the disputed June 2023 presidential elections, which saw President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone People's Party SLPP re-elected for a second term. The outcome of the election was rejected by the opposition All People's Congress APC, and a few months later, there were attacks on military barracks and prisons, as the government announced that an attempted coup had been foiled. Approximately 20 people were killed in the attacks, and almost 2,000 inmates were freed from Freetown's main prison during the incident. One fallout from the incident is that former President Ernest Bai Koroma was implicated, and he is now in Nigeria for medical reasons, but is effectively in exile. He faces being brought before the courts if he returns. Ironically, the ex-president was an election observer during the Gambia's most recent presidential election. Although the country has remained calm since the coup attempt, the trial of those accused of involvement is ongoing and is gripping the nation as they follow daily updates. The situation prompted regional bloc ECOWAS decide to send troops to help stabilize the country. Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio and his ruling SLPP say the deployment is unnecessary. GAF pledged to send 150 troops, which will take the total ECOWAS forces to about 1,200 men. Army PRO Colonel Lamin K. Sanyang says Sierra Leone is a sister country, and when they call, Gambia should be there to support.
So for the Gambia, we are contributing a total of 100 personnel who will be the troops, and then in addition we will have a platoon of signalers, that is personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces, who will be in charge of the communications infrastructure of the whole mission in Sierra Leone.
For this deployment, the Gambia Armed Forces have been assessed in terms of their capabilities, logistics, and equipment needs. Here is PRO Sanyang again.
The members of this contingent are mostly from QRF-1. This selection was done a long time ago, and they were trained both in the Gambia for QRF-1 by the British Armed Forces, and then QRF-2 and 3 were sent to Turkey for training.
It has been remarked on that soldiers deployed on missions are always happy to return after receiving their allowances. However, there have been allegations that some get a second opportunity for such deployment, while some are not giving such chances. PRO Sanyang responds to such claims.
For people not to repeat over and over again, this database helps us a lot to be able to select those that are supposed to comprise any contingent.
Hence, it is an international mission, and the soldiers' allowances are paid by the regional bloc. The Army PRO stated that there is a peacekeeping policy that the Gambia pays 90% of the troops' allowances, despite the UN manual stating that they should be paid around 72%.
They pay us in dollars, true. But the problem is, you don't have the physical cars there. So in 2017, when the troops came back from Darfur, the government had to run around, the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Finance, the Accountant General, to generate that amount of cash in dollars to pay. And we know our economy is not a US dollar economy. You know, we don't have dollars here. So what we ended up doing was to strike a compromise. We convert their payment or their allowances into dollars, but we give it to them at the highest rate in the market. Some opted to say, no, give us back our dollars. We gave them. But when they went to the market, they realized that they could not get the rate we gave them.
The Gambia Armed Forces has high capabilities with a good track record in its previous participation in a host of peacekeeping missions in countries like Côte d'Ivoire, Liberia, Mali, Sudan, Angola, Guinea-Bissau, East Timor, among other deployments. In all of these deployments, they have returned home with the reputation of the Gambia Armed Forces further enhanced. For QTV News, Amadou Tamba.
The Minister of Defense is Serigne Modou Njie and not Serigne Modou Faye, as mentioned there. Deepest apologies there. Following the launch of the preliminary report of the Gambia 2024 Population and Housing Census last week, we look at some of the Gambia's population demographic, social and economic characteristics and household and housing characteristics. More in this report. This preliminary report from the Gambia Bureau of Statistics will serve as a foundation for policy making, development planning and resource allocation. It will also assist central and local governments in developing plans for education, health, housing, sanitation, and other social services. According to the report, the Gambia has a population of 2,422,712. Looking at some of the highlights, the research shows that Brikama local government area has the highest population, accounting for 47.5% of the country's total. Kanifing local government area ranks second at 15.7%. Together, the two account for 63.2% of the national population. Brikama local government area has the most households, 147,161, 49.6% of the total, followed by Kanifing, 61,586 homes, 20.7%, and Banjul, 5,551, 1.9%. According to the population distribution statistics by nationality, Gambians make up 2,306,066, or 95.2% of the total population. Senegalese are the largest foreign nationals, accounting for 40,849, 1.7%, followed by Guineans, 1.5%, 36,077. The report shows that 98.8% of the population live in regular households, 1.1% in institutions such as prisons, group quarters, while 0.2% in floating populations. Floating population are people who reside in a given population for a certain amount of time and for various reasons, but are not generally considered part of the official census count. They could involve visitors and those on fixed-term contracts, for example. Another data of interest which was captured by the report is household sizes. Household sizes differ significantly by local government area. Banjul has the smallest average size at 4.6, while Kuntaur and Basse have much larger sizes of 10.7 and 12.6 respectively. The national average household is 8 people. The Gambia has a predominantly youthful population with 40.8% under 15 years of age and only 3.0% age 65 and over. This dependent population is likely to put pressure on the working age population, 15 to 64 years, which accounts for 56.2% of the population. At the local government area level, Banjul and Kanifing have relatively smaller proportions of youth population, 30% and 34.2% respectively, compared to Kuntaur, 47.9%, and Basse, 46.7%, where nearly half of the population is under 15 years. Although there is a 51% female to 49% male percentage split nationwide, interestingly, the capital Banjul is one of the few places where the split is 116 males to every 100 females. The final report is expected later this year, but it is not expected to show a great divergence from the data in the preliminary report. Umudu Gajaga, QTV News. In recognition of International Day of Peace, celebrated annually on the 21st of September, the West African Network of Peacebuilding WANEP and partners in the Gambia hosted a stakeholders dialogue and panel discussion at the Banjul City Council. Lena Igwenyipa tells us more.
In 2018, the Gambia experienced the most significant improvement in global peace, rising 35 spots in the Global Peace Index from 111th in 2017 to 76th. This remarkable progress placed the country among the 15 most peaceful nations in sub-Saharan Africa. The stakeholders dialogue held in honor of International Peace Day centered on the theme Cultivating a Culture of Peace, aimed at fostering social cohesion and peace-building efforts. The event included peace pledges and provided a platform for sharing messages of peace through music and poetry. Salam Manjai, the National Network Coordinator of WANEP Gambia, emphasized the significance of the theme.
The team re-emphasizes WANEP's vision of a Gambia characterized by peaceful communities, where the dignity of the human person is paramount and where the people can meet their basic human needs and decide their own direction.
Momodu Sow, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, underscored the effects of insecurity on people's lives, emphasizing the necessity of peace in every aspect of life.
Across the globe, all where conflicts are, most of those who suffer are the vulnerable people, the women, children, the mentally or the physically retarded, let me put it that way. It's with peace that development is fostered. It's in peace that education comes to. It's in peace where people aspire to put food on the table. It's true peace where we can worship our Creator. It's true peace where we can educate our children. It's within peace also. That is why we are here today.
Seni Sise, head of governance at UNDP, reaffirmed the organization's commitment to fostering peace-building efforts in the Gambia.
On behalf of UNDP the Gambia, I confirm our unwavering commitment to work alongside the people and the government of the Gambia to strengthen the foundations of peace for sustainable development.
Aziz Dabah Gay, Deputy Mayor of BCC, expressed delight in hosting the dialogue and panel discussion.
As the city of Banjul, we are particularly proud to host this stakeholders dialogue and peace and panel discussions, which serve as crucial platforms for promoting peace-building initiatives.
In December 2023, the African Conference for Promoting Peace nominated President Barrow of the Gambia as winner of the African Peace Award 2024 in recognition of his outstanding efforts in promoting peace and advancing the respect for human rights, democracy, and rule of law. This year also marks the 25th anniversary of the UN General Assembly's adoption of the Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace. Reporting for QTV News, I'm Lena Igwanyiba.
Time to take a commercial break, and when we return, we still have some more local news stories. Do stay tuned.
Ready to jumpstart your tech career? At IIHT Gambia Limited, we offer a variety of in-demand courses to equip you with essential skills for the tech industry. Our programs include Diploma in Information Technology and Cybersecurity, Cisco Certified Network Associate and Network Professional, Advanced Diploma in Software Development, Diploma in Multimedia, Graphic Design and Digital Marketing, Diploma in Database Administration and Technical Support. Whether you're starting your IT journey or looking to advance your career, our expert instructors and hands-on learning will prepare you for success. Don't wait. Enroll today and transform your future. Call us at 701968 or 3464161 or visit us at 55 Kairaba Avenue, adjacent to the U.S. Embassy, Fajara, Kanifing Municipality. Learn more at www.ihtgambia.gm. IIHT Gambia Limited, connecting talent to opportunity.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. The Bertel Harding Highway is transforming transportation in the Gambia with new roundabouts and vehicular overpasses. But safety must come first. Standing along the road or at roundabouts to flag down taxis creates unsafe conditions and unnecessary traffic jams. Remember, always board taxis at designated taxi garages or the garas located at major traffic points. Drivers stopping in no stopping zones will be penalized. Let's keep our roads clear and safe. Together, we can ensure a safe and efficient journey for all.
Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back and thank you very much for joining us. This is QTV News. Vulnerable families in the Upper River region on Tuesday received $3,000 each as part of the NAFA cash transfer program implemented by the National Nutrition Agency and partners. This report by Samba Kamara is narrated by Ansumane Sonyasi.
The NAFA cash transfer team will be in URR for 2 weeks to distribute cash to the most vulnerable households. The World Bank project aims to extend increased foundational learning of early grade students, access to job, relevant training for youth, income-generating opportunities, improving education quality and access, enhancing access to employment opportunities, and expanding social protection for the most vulnerable. Yusufa A. Jao, the Senior Nutrition Field Officer in Basse, explains why the project is targeting vulnerable families.
Presently, we are on the kickstarting of the Gambia Rice program. This is a social protection program that entails some unconditional cash transfer that is called the NAFA component. Presently, we are at Bajakunda trying to disburse the cash transfer. We are giving to beneficiaries that are households that are extremely poor households in order to build their resilience. So as you can see in Bajakunda, we have about 218 beneficiaries that we are going to disburse this funds to. Normally what happens in the previous NAFA the social protection project that have phased out, this project is a continuation of the same resilient building project. So we are expected to give households $3,000 that is disbursed to them by monthly. So when they are given this money, it's not only giving them the money, but we also accompany it with some social and behavioral change communication.
The NAFA program is being implemented through the National Nutrition Agency, NANA, in collaboration with the Department of Community Development and the Department of Social Welfare at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. Musa Dambale, coordinator for NAFA Gambia Rice Project, talked about the cycle of cash disposal.
Since 2022 up to date, so I think this is our 9th cycle and 10th cycle we are paying, and it started on the 16th September, that was yesterday, and where we went to Bohumkunda and Saramodu Jao, and today we are in Bajakunda. After Bajakunda, we'll be going to Borokanda Cafe.
The Gambia Rice Project is expected to reach more than 272,000 beneficiaries. Bubakar Bob, a representative of NAFA Cash Transfer Program, highlights the expectations and the objectives of NAFA.
So today we were discussing on the topic of pregnancy, which is in a broader model called the maternal and child nutrition model. So we discussed on pregnancy from the inception, from the conception, the things that you need to do. For example, the early booking, of women, because we promote women to book early for antenatal services, because it helps a lot in terms of identification and detection of early issues on pregnancy.
The 5-year multi-sectoral project specifically focuses on boosting foundational learning in early childhood education through grade 4, expanding access to technical and vocational education and training TVET, aligned with labor market demands, and enhancing income-generating opportunities for the poor and food insecure. Anspaneso Nyase for KTV News.
Members of the NAFA Cooperative Credit Union convened on Saturday for their annual general meeting, where they reviewed and discussed the activity and audited financial reports for 2023. As QTV's Julden Jai reports, the stakeholders also celebrated the union's 25 years of excellence.
The theme of the NAFA Cooperative Credit Union's annual general meeting, held at NAFA's headquarters in Kanifing, was engendering a culture of compliance in credit union operations. This theme aims to foster a culture of compliance that bolsters their mission and enhances their resilience against regulatory and operational challenges. Tijan Mane, the chairman of the credit union, stated that the year under review experienced positive growth in membership, welcoming 143 new members. This brought the total membership to 2,416. Presenting the financial performance of the union, Chairman Mane noted that during the year under review, they accumulated total income after interest expenses exceeding $10,719,000, marking a 23% increase compared to 2022.
A total profit of $3.2 million was maintained after all expenses, including staff cost. Total amount shared on dividend stand at $6,122,240, which has increased by 12.9% compared to 2022.
Jere Toure, the treasurer, says despite numerous challenges, the NAFA Cooperative Credit Union has shown resilience and adaptability.
NAFA Credit Union gained significant increase in assets from 2022 to 2023, showing a total of $70.6 million and $190.8 million respectively, indicating a growth rate of 11.89%, that's almost 12%.
Mr. Toure also reported notable growth, with savings rising from $147.4 million in December 2022 to $163.1 million in December 2023. This represents a growth rate of 10.6%, translating to a net increase of over $15,655,000. Regarding loan management, the outstanding loans as of December 31st, 2022 amounted to $120.1 million, increasing to $137.8 million by December 2023. Idrissa Bijaju, the Deputy Managing Director of NAWEC, delivered a statement on behalf of the Managing Director of NAWEC.
We have successfully implemented several initiatives aimed at improving our services and enhancing member satisfaction. However, we must remain vigilant. The financial sector is evolving rapidly, and it is imperative that we stay ahead by continuously improving our practices and ensuring that we are compliant with all regulatory requirements.
Fode Sanyang, CEO of the National Association of Cooperative Credit Unions, praised NAWEC's Cooperative Credit Union for their outstanding work over the years and for being one of the few credit unions to meet compliance requirements.
My review have shown that all your managers have the qualification to serve. This is one out of 3 credit unions who have fully prepared themselves for a day like today.
For QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
Aims Forward Foundation, a community organization dedicated to environmental conservation and sustainable practices, on Saturday organized cleaning and tree planting at Manjaikunda Erinjang Bridge as their contribution to promoting a clean and healthy environment. Rohi Samba has more.
Aims Forward Foundation is a youth-led association formed by students and a teacher from Sehmaska Senior Secondary School. Among other initiatives, The association gives young people opportunities to undertake various community services by drawing members from various schools. Here is Sana Jammeh, Vice President of the association.
We come up with this idea because looking at it, cleanliness is key in human being. So now we are here to make sure that we clean the environment because we believe that the government cannot do all. And even if they can do all, they might not also do all. So now we the youth also to stand in order to make sure that we clean the environment by helping the government, so we will not be there blaming the government.
Aissatou Konta, the Assistant Secretary of Aims Forward Foundation, highlights why young people should venture in such activities.
Aims Forward comes together as youth. As you can see, most of us are very young. We come together to make sure we form an organization which will help give out to the society, which as we lead, we motivate, we promote, and also to support one another.
Lamin Jammeh is the councillor of Manjai Ward.
First of all, I will thank the youth of this community for initiating this kind of community engagement, like Settle and other tree planting also is on the way.
Lamin Jammeh commended Aims Forward Foundation for their patriotic endeavors and pledged to support their future activities. He also emphasized collaboration with the association to expand tree planting initiatives throughout KMC during the rainy season. The foundation had a series of cleaning exercises within the Kanifing municipality, and this time around, they decided to include tree planting in Manjai. As they clean up and beautify various communities, Aims Forward Foundation is issuing a call to all patriotic Gambians to join them in beautifying the country. The association also seeks for support from parastatals, central and local government, and the private sector to make improved environmental conditions in individual communities and eventually the whole country. Reporting for QTV News, I am Rahisamba.
Well, that's it for QTV News tonight. Thank you very much for watching. But don't forget to join Mumudum Boj and Usman Jatta tomorrow at the same time, 8 p.m. for Weekend Review.